if you've ever seen a 404 page on a Squarespace website, you'll know it's a Squarespace website immediately because they all, for the most part, look the same, and they're all really unintuitive and pretty ugly, to be honest. And I always think a 404 page on a site can actually be quite an important part of the user journey. Like, if there's a dead link, for instance, you don't want a user to land on something that just makes no sense and then they bounce right away. What you want to do is use this as an opportunity to keep them on the site and usually just redirect them to the home page. But make sure that they know, okay, this page doesn't exist, yes, but here's your next step. This is crucial to reducing your bounce rate. So I'm going to show you how to set up a custom 404 page and then apply it to your site on Squarespace now. So on the site here, what you'll see is pages. And what we want to do is we want to go into there and we want to create our 404 page. So in not linked, we're going to say plus, add a blank page, and we'll just call this 404. We'll make sure by clicking the cog that everything is labeled 404. All looks good. SEO, okay, perfect. Now, within here, we're going to click edit to go onto the page itself and then add a section. Within here, we then get to choose, okay, what we want to add in. Do we want to add a classic editor section? Do we want to just add a blank section? How about all these different templated sections? We can do any of these, but what I'll do is I'll build it from scratch for this example. So let's go blank section, and I'm just going to make this one white. So if I go into background and then color, we'll make that white. Perfect. Now let's add a block. So we can get fairly creative with this. You could just say, okay, add the text block and say 404 and then make it huge and say, okay, you've messed up, you're not on the right page. Or what we can do is, be a little bit creative. Oops, that page does not exist. And then we'll just make this H1. And then what we can do is we can explain what the user can do after this. So if you want to stay on our website, you may want to travel home and start again, something like that. You can choose the verbiage, but that will do for now. So a bit of context as to what this page is for the user, explain, and then we want to add a block to get them back. So we'll drag a button block in there, we'll double click on it, and we'll give it some text like return to homepage. Great. Attach a link, / and then we want to find home. Now I'll just drag this button to look a bit nicer. Perfect. What I'll then do is I'll just check it on mobile. So click on this and then we'll see, okay, we need to actually move this out. Probably space that out a little bit, and I'll space that down a little bit there. And let's just, for styling, looks about right to me. So we'll hit save. Now we've got our 404 page built. If you want, you can add a little bit more to it. So sometimes people will put their social blocks in. So I will just quickly look for social links. You could drop these under here and say, let's move that into the center. We could say follow us on socials. So we'll leave that in. We'll leave that in there. And then we'll just make sure that's all nicely aligned on mobile. Okay, cool. So we've got it set up. What we want to then do is set it up as our 404 page. So to do so, we stay in pages and we go system pages. At the top of system pages, you'll see 404 page. So click on that, and then we go from system default, which you can see is just super, super ugly. Like, it doesn't even really give you like an underline or anything. It just says clicking here, but there's no bold, there's no different color. There's no underline, there's nothing. So like, it's not actually clear what to do. It's not good. So we click on system default and then we go down to 404, and there we go. We've got a nice, beautiful 404 page. If we hit save, will return us to the home page and the user can start again. So hopefully you found that useful. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and hit subscribe. And if you want me to build your Squarespace website, you can get in touch using the links in the description.